Welcome to another edition of Fitness Friday. I'm Erica Fernandez, and I'm here today with Casey Stutzman from Performance Soccer. Casey, thanks so much for being here today.
My pleasure, Erica. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So this week we are on water rowers.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me, what exactly is a water rower, and why do people do this?
So I love rowing for the same reason we talked about boxing a couple weeks ago. It's skill-based. Like, there's a lot of technique involved. Therefore, there's a lot of connection mind to body, and it really helps, dial us into good movement mechanics and technique. It's a wonderful cardiovascular exercise. It's something that we can do indoors when the weather gets nasty. And I really love how it teaches us to drive power through the lower body, maintain stable trunk, good spine position, and then finish through the upper body. So there's a lot of good movement mechanics at play here. We're using the water rower. This is one of my favorite models because we're actually pulling against water resistance.
Okay.
Some other rowers use a fan system, so it's more air resistant. So I feel like this is a little truer to the sport, and it's calm and soothing and kind of nice.
All right, so I've done this a couple of times before, and sometimes the technique can be really tricky. So tell me, first, technique. How do we get started?
So I'm going to give you two simple things you can do to really dial in your technique. If you just drive these into your brain and do them over and over, you're going to get really awesome at it. So
okay.
First, we're going to get our feet in,
okay.
And we want to kind of adjust the foot cradles so that the ball of the foot is on that little wavy part right there, that platform.
Okay.
And then we want to get those straps nice and tight. Now from there, we're going to grab the handle. This is what we call our catch position. So this is where the oar would go into the water. Then we have our drive phase going out, and then most importantly, we have our recovery, which is coming back. Now that's exactly what that is. That's a little bit of a rest.
Okay.
So there's a sequencing that we want to go with that's going to help keep those phases where they're supposed to be. So we go legs, trunk, arms, arms, trunk, legs.
Okay.
Every single stroke. So we're going to start off with legs, then a little lean back in the trunk, and then we finish with the arms, and then we go arms, trunk, legs.
Okay.
Legs, trunk, arms, arms, trunk, legs. Legs, trunk, arms, arms, trunk, legs. One more. Legs, trunk, arms, arms, trunk, legs. So what that's going to do is that's going to help us effectively drive power through the legs, transfer through the trunk, and then finish with the arms. Big misconception is this is a heavy arm activity and exercise. We actually want to focus more on the lower body and driving hard through the legs because that's where all that power is going to come from. Making sure our sequencing stays correct on the way back is going to make sure we get that recovery. Otherwise, what happens, we start going too fast on the way back, and we're going to wear ourselves out.
Right,
so that gives us a little bit of rest in between strokes. The second piece is your tempo. So if it takes us 1 second to get back, it should take us 2 seconds to get forward. So keeping that legs, trunk, arms, trunk, legs, we're going to do a 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Try a couple of those. Ready? And just stay right with me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Nice. So that's going to help us dial in more power per stroke. Our goal is to move the boat forward. Okay, so now let's take a look at our numbers. So we got this great screen right here, and there's a couple numbers it's going to display. That big double number right there, that's what we call our strokes per minute. That's how fast we're going, okay? Then there's a little number, that 0.0 right there, that's your miles per hour. That's how much power per stroke. When we add those together, that gives us our split time.
Okay.
So the split time is if you're going at this pace, how long is it going to take you to do 500 meters?
Okay.
Your split time is the ultimate test of how fast you're going or how hard you're pulling.
Okay.
One of the mistakes we make is we go too fast with our strokes per minute. We should keep that between 20 and 32.
Okay.
So again, if I start getting to a point where I'm just coming back really quick, I'm going to get my strokes up really high, but I'm not moving the boat forward.
Okay.
I want to think about big, powerful pulls and return, and on each stroke, really driving that boat. And you're going to notice that's going to give you a better split time than just going really, really quick.
Right.
You're going to be more efficient, cover more ground, and be less tired.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds good?
Yep, sounds good. I don't know if I could go for very long, but...
So the cool thing about it is the better you get with your sequencing, your technique, and really dial in your numbers, that's going to make a huge difference on how long you can go, how far you can go, because you're going to increase your overall efficiency.
All right, perfect. All right, so now we know how to row, but how exactly can somebody incorporate this into their workout?
Just start simple. 2-3 times a week, maybe start your workout with it or finish your workout with it. Just start like 250 to 500 meters. Just really working on that technique. And then as you start to dial your technique in, become more efficient, a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. But you don't have to just eventually start rowing, 10Ks or anything ridiculous.
Right.
You can then start to do different intervals. You can do sprints. You can back off. So you can keep, a 5-10 minute set on here that can be super intense. Just by playing with some of your numbers, increasing your miles per hour, working on your split time. There's so many different ways to do it.
Yeah, and especially like you said, this is another option for cardio.
Absolutely.
And with the weather getting colder and it getting wetter, it's definitely another option for indoor cardio.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thanks so much for being here, Casey. Stay tuned because sports is next with John Scheidler.